And feel free to add questions in the chat box, or if you've got a mic, feel free to fire it up if you want. Okay. So thanks for joining us. Today's topic is our virtual desktop to help you work when you're not here, because you all do. Our virtual desktop is a VMware client. It allows you to access district resources and your files from outside of the district as long as you have access to the internet. I do want to clear up, we call it a virtual desktop. You do want to keep in mind it won't connect you to your physical computer desktop. So right now you can see my desktop, and these are files I have saved here. They're things in progress. When I log on to this, you won't see this. You get a generic teacher desktop. So if you want to be able to access this, all these forms, you would want to save those in your H drive. And we always recommend the H drive anyway, because the H drive is backed up. If something happens to your computer, we can restore that. So this is actually me being a bad example, but I guess I'll just have to live with that. All right, so I give you a set of directions. These are available step by step. It'll walk you through. Our virtual computer is available for pretty much any device you can find. A Mac or a Windows desktop will work. You can also use it on tablets like a Surface, an iPad, an Android, or a Galaxy tablet. If you're doing Linux, you can do that. It'll work on Kindle 8. The only thing we find that it doesn't work right now is a Chromebook. So you can't install on a Chromebook. This isn't going to work for you. But what it does is you're going to have to install a client or just a small program on your device to do this. Now, for most desktop computers, we're going to use this website that is right in the directions. If you have a tablet like Gen Surface, or if you're using an iPad, you can go right to the App Store or the Microsoft Store, whatever is applicable to your device, and you can look for the VMware client. Right? So since we're on a desktop, we're going to start here. I'm just going to click on this My Desktop, and it's a link, so it'll take you right to a website. You'll see you get two options, and this is an HTML is kind of a live online version of the virtual desktop. So you can use this in a pinch. If you're out of town, you're on a family member's computer, and you don't want to have to install, or you don't have time, you can use this. It doesn't work perfect. It's a little buggy, but it's good in a pinch. If you're going to be working from home on a regular basis, then you're going to want to install this VMware Horizon client. That's going to work a lot better for you. So this is going to install like a program. So you can simply click on it, and you'll see you'll need to know what kind of computer you're on. If you're using a district computer, like your district laptop, all of our computers are Windows based, and we have 32-bit machines. But if you have a Mac at home, they do have a client for the Mac. So you can look through here, and if you're not sure about the bits on the window, 32 should install on anything. If you try to install 64 and your computer isn't strong enough or fast enough to handle it, it'll just tell you to try the 32. So if you're not sure, go ahead and just guess, and it'll tell you if you're wrong. So if you were on a district laptop, you could go to downloads here for the 32-bit, and then you have a download button, and it'll download like any other program. You'll get a bar at the bottom of your screen, and you can just run this. It's a real small program. If you're in Chrome, you'll get a very similar bar where you double click on it to launch it. We are going to skip the run part to save some time for now, but when you run it, you will get some options. So just you'll click an acceptance policy and things like that. As you click through this client setup, it is going to ask you for a few settings, and all of those settings are listed in this PDF that I gave you. So you might want to just have it handy as you install it. So yes, I'll accept it, and we're going to do the IP4. I think that's new. We're going to click through most of these until you get to server. And on our directions, it tells you what your server is. I'm actually going to copy and paste it right over, but it's mydesktop.cvs.k12.mi.us. And it's going to give you a few options. I do like this in my option menu. I'm not going to use the default user. I don't want it to know it's me every time. I do want it on my desktop and in my start menu, so it's going to appear down here. if I leave those clicked. Makes it a little easier to access, and then we can do the full install. So this usually just takes a minute or two. It's moving pretty fast. We like that. Once that is installed, you will have a desktop icon that looks like this, the little green grid. Now I had it installed, but I wanted to redo it for you since we had that glitch the first time. So now on my desktop I have a shortcut to the VMware Horizon client, and I can also get to it here in my start menu. Either place will take you to the same one, and it's read my server. This is the only client I have set up, so I'm going to click on it. Oh, and this is where we had a glitch last time too. I might be handing it over to Craig. Oh, there it goes. Okay, when you go to log in, you are going to use the same username and password that you use to get on our computers every day. And you're going to get, these are called pools. These are how we just divide up our server. Now when you're here in the district, you can see we have 7. You can pick whichever one sounds nice to you. When you are at home, you will only see Kayak, and that's fine. Then just, it makes it an easy choice. But when you're, if for some reason you're accessing it while in the district, choose any one that you want. And you'll see now it starts to look like our student computers as they boot up, because our student computers also use a virtual client. The virtual client is based on Windows 7, just like your computer is, and has Office 2013, so it'll look very familiar. And here it is. So it's a very basic desktop. One thing I want to point out to you, when you're here, it reads your location, so it knows what building you're based in. But if you're at home, so like Jen is home from now working, she should get an extra check under Awesome Teacher, but she's going to get a red and blue box that minimizes on her taskbar, and it's going to ask her her building number. She wants to type that in, and there'll be a building list right there if you forget your building number, but you need to type in your building number because it tells the computer what drives you should have. If you don't type in your building number, it's not going to be complete. But you can see here we've got shortcuts to all our Office programs, so if you don't have them at home or you don't have the latest version, you can download them through Office 365, but you can also use our virtual computer to access it. And you can access files. I'm going to click the file folder at the bottom left to open an Explorer window. And I can go to Documents, and this is my H drive. So now, if I'm at home, I can easily access my files that are on my H drive. I can save things to my H drive. And if I click to expand my computer, I can also access things like my building's iDrive. So if I'm trying to access school improvement documents or something we've been working on as a group that's housed in the iDrive, I also have access to that. So it makes saving a little more seamless. Anything I save on my H drive will be here when I come into work the next day. So I don't have to worry about saving my files on a flash drive and bringing them back, or emailing them to myself, or sometimes you end up with 5 or 6 different versions of the same file, and it gets really confusing to keep track of. So this allows us to do that save, and it makes your work a little less seamless. If you are working on like an iPhone, I really don't like to do serious work on my iPhone. It's just too small for my eyes. But you will see you'll get a circle in the center, because I've tried it in a pinch. There are times you're like, I really just need to access this right now. You'll get a circle in the center, and when you click on the circle, it gives you options like bringing up your keyboard. Because it's dealing with a mobile device and it's all a lot smaller, it gives you your options a different way. But this works exactly like a regular desktop. So again, I can open programs. You will find if you're using any specialized programs, we have CAD programs and Adobe programs for our CTE. Those will not be here. But things like our NWEA browser, Movie Maker, all of that is in this build, and even Smart Notebook. The one trick with Smart Notebook is you can search for it. but it is on here. Let me go to programs. You guys notice things just don't go right when I do this? Oh, you know what? I know, because I'm here and I'm logged in admin. Admin doesn't get Smart Notebook. Dr. Broski, if you need it, let me know. Jen, when you log in, you would get Smart Notebook. We've got a lot of the shortcuts we use, like Success Maker. So almost everything you need will be there, but again, accessing files, I think, is the most important part. All right. Mr. McBain, what am I forgetting? You had some good hints in our last session.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so you can't hear me. Hi. So when you're done, you should click the start button and choose log off, and that closes your session, and that helps our B block because it closes that session and makes the computer available for the next person who needs it. If you don't choose log off, it kind of keeps that session open for a long, long time. And then the other thing, look, everybody who knows Craig knows he loves the iPad. And here is an iPad mini with the Windows 7, Microsoft Windows 7 running on it. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, so in a pinch, I mean, you can, there's Word right on the desktop.
Okay, a couple questions. I'm sorry, my virtual desktop, I'm going to log off it, as Craig suggested. There were a couple of questions in the chat box I couldn't see, so let's see if I can get back to them here. Does it have the same programs and permissions? I don't think you have InDesign, Diane. It's a very basic build. The number
That
for the
includes some standard software, and for software to be used on the virtual computer, the software itself has to be virtualized, which involves some considerable labor and configuration on our end. So we've only virtualized just the standard common things that we deploy over hundreds and hundreds of users.
Also, Diane asked, what's the admin building number? It's 00, and then Ojibwa is 30, if you're not familiar with it, Jen. But again, there is a list there when you go to click that in if you forget. Can you print a document at home? Gosh, I don't think I've ever tried. Do you know, Craig, if I can print to my home computer?
You know, I never tried either.
I'm going to go home tonight and try, Dr. Broski, and I will let you know what I find out.
In a pinch, though.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, John. He wanted to see if we knew it all, and he already knows it all.
In a pinch, though, remember, you can email it to yourself or save to OneDrive.
If you have the software on your laptop, can you open those files in VM? No. But what you can do, Diane, is take, like if you have a InDesign file that's on your H drive, you could email it to yourself or save it in Office 365 so you can access it. So if you have specialized programs on your laptop, you might want to look at a different, like the virtual desktop might not be the best solution for you. Like an Office 365 might be better for you, but I can come down one day and help you with that if you want. The other thing I want to mention, if you are using a district laptop, when you first install the client, so when you first go to that link, you'll want to do it when you're here because it starts looking for drives. It's just a little easier if you do the install while you're in the district. And then once the install is done, other than today at 3:10, this system has worked perfect for me from a home. I have access to pretty much everything, and it's very easy to use. Any other questions we missed out there? I know you all needed more ways to work at home this summer, right? Looks like a couple of people are typing. I'm going to stop my camera just because staring at your camera while you're reading the questions. Oh yeah, Diane, it just maps differently. I'm sure there's a way around it, but just doing it here is a little easier. Craig probably knows the way around it, but thanks, Don. So the directions are in the attachment. You can take, so you'll have those settings, the server and the domain, and you can take a screenshot of that right there. Oh, there's the iPad. And it works real well on the Surface. It's a very versatile tool. It makes life a little easier. So if you have questions, feel free to stick around, or you can stay and admire Craig's iPad. Otherwise, enjoy the sunshine today, and if you need anything, feel free to give us a call.
Well, iPad's my middle name, Diane.
He had to test it so he could say it's not the right device for us.
That's my iPad. Here's my Dell, the Android tab. This is the Kindle Fire, which, by the way, the virtual computer works on Kindle Fire.
Well, again, thanks for joining us. Have a great afternoon. If you have any questions, let us know.
Here's the
Or
Galaxy
stick around
tab.
to see the device. Yeah.
Galaxy tab. Virtual computer worked on that.
OneNote works on all those too, but that's another story. Jen, I'm glad you were able to get in with your Surface. Send me a time. We'll come over. I'll come over. We can play a little bit.
Is Jen participating with a Surface tablet today?
She just got it last
am.
night.
Oh, did you get
Can you
the
hear-
Surface 3?
Can you hear me?
Yes?
Yes.
Oh, okay. No, I ended up getting the Surface. What is it? 3? Yep, the Surface 3.
Okay.
Oh, how cute.
I just got it last night at about midnight.
Really? Midnight?
Yeah.
Is the store open that late?
No, my husband came home with it from work.
Oh, okay.
Oh, how exciting.
Yeah,
It
I would
is.
be happy to come over and help you set things up. I sent you
Yeah,
some
or I can
times
come there
earlier today.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just let me know what works for you.
Okay, and I'm in the middle of typing, but I'll just ask, can you use this link system with parents or students for homework?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or is it not something that, I mean, if they have it and you have it, you could use it?
Yeah, you can, correct me if I'm wrong, Craig, you create a calendar appointment. When I'm going to open my Outlook. There might be another way to do it, but, well, if they're in our network, you can just look them up. So
Well,
I don't know if I can do it
here's
while I'm
what
in
you
a
should-
call.
Jen, what grades do you teach?
5th grade. 5th?
That's an awful picture. Sarah.
Oh,
we haven't-
can you see me?
No, but you could turn your camera on, I'll bet.
Oh,
No,
Yeah.
she thought you were saying she had an awful picture.
No, I saw you had my picture kind of frozen there for a second. I looked like a half dead. And Jen, you probably have a camera button somewhere on your screen that you can
Oh,
click.
yeah, I see it. Let me see. Let's see. Oh, it's a video.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
It's not. It says start my video, hide my preview, or leave video.
go. Start.
Let's see.
So yeah, in my calendar, like when I create
Oh,
these
Hi
in
there.
Outlook on my calendar, mine says Skype. Yours might too because it's such a new device. But Link became Skype for business. So you can click here, and it automatically generates a link that you use to log in.
Okay.
It went away, but it's there. And then you could send that like to parents who aren't in our network. If you wanted to use Link with another teacher, you can just kind of look them up in our network. But you can send this to an outside to a parent or a student, and they can click on the link. And if they don't have Link or Skype, they can use there's a free web app that they can use.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah, you could use it.
With this new map, it might be interesting to look into that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and one of the things we try to remember to do is record these sessions. You could record it, and then you could put it on your website. You know, we could post it for you. We can actually post it in Office 365. Craig, Jen is one of the teachers who got her 5th graders in. There's a new video section. So we could post them there and your kids could have access. You could do reviews or tutorials and post them. So many possibilities.
I know,
Remind
it's
you,
crazy.
Sarah, we did not license students for a link.
Right. They could still use the app though, couldn't they?
I mean, I had to download the app for this.
They can't log in.